Hello, how is everyone's hackathon going? How are your projects going? Let's get hype. It's like 9 a.m. in the morning. I have not slept. Let's have a conversation. How is everyone enjoying their hackathon? Sleep is overrated. Facts. Are you guys excited for any events in particular today? Oh, yeah. I'm doing good. Wow. So everything started at 1 in the night for you? So what time is it there right now? That's crazy. Well, I do hope you guys do sleep and get enough food and hydrate yourselves during the hackathon because that's very important as well. Hydrate. Yeah, definitely hydrate. Please stay hydrated. All right, so the workshop will start shortly, but yeah, I'm really excited for everything we have planned today, and I hope you guys get to go to all the events you guys want to go to. It's really good stuff today. Good morning, if you're joining us. I hope you guys all slept. If you guys didn't sleep, get some sleep. Eat some breakfast. And yeah, I'm excited for like all the projects that you guys have in store, definitely.
Hello there, everybody. Good morning, or wherever part of the world you're at. Sorry, I'm 2 minutes late. I just woke up. Hello. Oh, it's a camera. Hmm.
Good morning, Kim. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that was me this morning, dude. I did not wake up. I woke up by force. Oh, I thought that was a falling asleep gift. What the heck? Oh, I'm sharing my screen. Haha. Okay, guys. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, can you all see my screen? Can mods let me know if they can see it?
Yes. Yes. I
Yep.
can see your screen.
Okay, cool. Okay, welcome everybody. This is UPE Design on a morning workshop. We're going to be talking about UI UX here in ShellHacks right now, this very moment. First of all, I would like to talk and give thanks to my committee members. I would also like to highlight my committee members for the current design team. They've worked very hard to bring design to what it is today. Their names are Naomi Lima, Yurbeli Gonzalez, and Melvin Santos. So let me pose a question to everybody. What does UI UX design mean to you? So if you can let me know in chat, that would be great. Real quick. All right. Sounds about right. Some of you got the idea. So when we talk about design, for Steve Jobs, design is not just what it looks like, it feels like. Design is how it works. So making a good looking product is only a very small percentage of the job. It has to have intentional flow and function. So why is UI UX important? It highlights and promotes your product. It builds customer confidence. A good experience creates competitive advantage. Have you ever guys had an app where you used it and you liked how everything worked and everything was intuitive, everything was easy to use, so it was a memorable experience? Okay, moving on. So I like to think about Snapchat stories made in 2011. They had the idea of disappearing stories composed of videos or images, and after 24 hours, it would again disappear, and it became very popular among the masses. And very soon after maybe a few years, competitors started following due to the success. So we have some examples here of YouTube on the left, and then we have Twitter fleets on the right. I do believe Twitter, they cut the feature RP fleets, F in chat for fleets. Then we have Facebook stories, who also implemented this. And then we have more recently Instagram stories. So can you guys think of an app that took advantage of the fact that you can digest videos in a minute or less? but they don't disappear because what if you want to watch it again? You know? Yup, that's right. This gave rise to TikTok, a very popular app that rose through the pandemic, being able to deviate not only for music, but for any other kinds of videos. It has an easy interface and friendly user experience that proves that UI UX and having the user come first is priority. One sec, it's slightly lagging for me. Yeah, TikTok, ew. Just kidding, I have a good time on it. Sometimes. When I look at memes. Alright, now that I've given you guys kind of a bit of a history lesson, let's delve into the specifics of UI UX. So what is UI UX? So it refers to the user interface. It refers to the design of the interface or the engineering for the interface. So you can think about like a remote controller or a mouse, that has a specific interface that you become familiar with. And then we also have user experience, which is the process of having the users interact with their product and the flow of the steps that it takes to get around your product. Will there be a UPE TikTok? I mean, it should be. Just imagine. So here's our careers within UI UX. Not every single role is named UI UX, and not every single company has a very specific UI UX role. We have UI designer. I wrote that twice. Visual designer, interactive designer, information architect, content designer, usability analyst, UX researcher, UX writer. There are times where, again, some companies like Facebook don't have dedicated UI UX roles, so you have like a subdivision of it. So let's say you're a software engineer, and you just might have a knack for front end development, and that will usually consider design into it. So here's what you might do in the role. You might be presenting, pitching, and showcasing your work. You might be filing paperwork and documentation, group work, and facilitating groups. You're going to be talking about stakeholders, your clients, engineers, other designers are usually in groups. So UI design pertains to the question of how does the overall product look? UI is actually a part of UX. They're not separate. They're actually pretty interchangeable. They aren't separated. You work with the research team to make sure every visual component is intuitive and fleshed out. On the other hand, we have UX design, where we identify and solve user problems. Therefore, we get fancy. We need to actually plan the skeleton, which we call a wireframe. We beg the question of how does the overall product feel, and we start creating. We start the research project to figure out how things are going. So now we've gone into the process. So we have mainly these processes for the UX experience process. So we begin with the understand phase, research, then we move on to sketch, design, and then we implement the product, and then we evaluate it. Did we meet our goals? It's completely normal that we actually backtrack on this process. No process is fully perfect. In some cases, a PM or a product designer will have the team on track. So we're here on the understand phase now. So here in this phase, we're going to meet with a team to find out where the problem is specifically. We're going to clearly comprehend the requirements asked by our client or stakeholders or PM, and we start to create user personas and define a use case. The use case is essentially a very large document where you document every single part of the process, beginning with the problem, where is it found, who's working on it, who's going to work on what specifically, and so on and so forth. So user persona is a very detailed one-page example of who is a user that is testing your product. It is based on real information. We use these in order to fully understand their thought process, and here we create user personas and create the use case. So for tips to create a persona, we analyze the type of market that this product is used for. So you're not going to get somebody using, I don't know, Home Depot web app and then ask them to sign up for a Shopify commercial app. Like, you gotta match the person with the interests. It's going to have, like I said, realistic demographic data because you want real people testing your products, not just, I don't know, like trained AIs to do it. These are some examples. This is like a really rough idea of what a user persona document would look like. It would have their names, what's the biographical data, their positions, the stuff they do want to do, the stuff they don't want to do, their key goals in using your products, and their behaviors. So here we start moving on to test. We're still in the research phase, mind you. Understand. Tests are super important due to their ability to give feedback to your product. The different methods we do these tests are by observing in interviews, questionnaires, surveys, and more. The advantages of using tests is that we get to test the unforeseen user issues that somebody that might run into that you didn't particularly predict was going to happen, or if it's any unforeseen problems, we get to fix them and identify them on the spot. Here's a real-world example, usertesting.com. This is a site that pays you for testing out products. Your valuable feedback and critique gets to companies so they can improve. When we are done with testing, we move on to the research phase. So I like to mention that they're paid, like they pay you to test products out. You like take a video of yourself, and you're like, all right, I can't click this area, but I just thought it was funny. So here we move on with the research phase. Here we do market competitions, fully understand the playing field that we are in. Many companies do this. Such competitiveness can be seen in the marketing campaigns. Think about like Instagram stories again, how that went everywhere, and because it was successful, everybody else started doing it. You also get to get inspirations and ideas from your competitors. So again, we focus on studying the different approaches to the problem we are tackling, along with analyzing current trends, why they're popular, can this be incorporated? It's very important that you ask that because not every single app likes the same feature. Like Twitter fleets, ripped fleets, people couldn't find a use for them and therefore was unsuccessful. Slide 20. So let's say you're a student trying to find out how to make an upload file prompt. Googling can be a valid start. Here you can see the many approaches designers take. Notice the similarities, the upwards arrow to the cloud, within the button as the action. So they're all pretty similar. They'll all have like the same kind of wording: upload, choose files to upload, or drag and drop, add another file. We have the cloud icon here, here, here. So we all kind of borrow from each other, in a funny way. After much deliberation, we finally move on to the sketch phase, one of the most iterative processes that there is. So here we build the wireframes, the user flows, and early mockups of the product. Most of us here use paper and pencil for this part. Once we move on, we actually create, the skeleton of sorts. It's called a wireframe, where we lay out the key features and give everything a sense of placement. Wow, I clicked ahead. So, in this example, we're going to have a picture here, we're going to have text sectioned off into pieces, and then we're going to have a comment section on the right, where you have the button to confirm, and then it gets posted, and we have a search bar. So, everything has a sense of placement, has a sense of intention of where everything is placed. So here we move on with the UX flow. A more advanced wireframe becomes a UX flowchart where we connect pages or instances of a product together. So normally this is pretty tame, but they do get kind of crazy when you do a full-fledged prototype. There's sort of like some of the kinds of instances: the login, the sign up, the home, the menu, the settings. And there's probably way many more than this comes from. Where wireframes usually done, they can be done in UI UX tools, so you can do this in VXD or Figma, or you can just, a lot of times we start out with drawings, and then when we're pretty satisfied with those, we'll move those into digital tools. There are some that are a lot more user-friendly, like uxflow.com or Illustrator, where you can have more freedom to do that. You're welcome. So in the design phase, we take what we made in the sketch phase and we bring it to fruition. All assets get fleshed out with the finalized theme with the proper specific English is hard. With the proper specification for English for engineers to develop. It's the lack of sleep, guys. It's getting to me. Additionally, we create sessions where we test the clients for their perspective and opinion. So in the design phase, we're going to have to start really thinking about the interface, the assets, the specs, the guidelines. Are we meeting those? If not, we usually just don't move on. We talk with the clients for an early impression. It's like, oh, hey, are you okay with this? Or with the PM or the PD or the manager, whoever's in charge. So yeah. So some of the ways that designs are being done are with UI UX tools such as Figma on the left, the WXD in the middle, and Sketch on the right. These are usually considered industry standard. However, there's just flavor anymore. If you're working with the company with a brand, they usually provide assets like their logo plus internal images. So if you're working in a company that already has a very established brand, most of the time you will be given the assets and then you can just use them in your UX tool. Other times you're sort of expected to have them or not. You might have a marketing team that will give them to you. So it really, really depends on what the company is. Oh, another example is a startup. If you're working at a startup, they most probably expect you to do this. So here are some honorable mentions. If you don't use Adobe, Figma, or Sketch. We have Balsamiq, Webflow, FlowMap, InVision Studio, Axure, Craft, Proto.io, Marvel, FigmaX, Origami Studio, Visual Sitemaps, TreeJack, Wireframe.cc. Actually, I've used Wireframe. It's pretty good. Comfortable Workshop. Yeah, that flow's pretty good. So implementing. This is the part where the dev team actually comes into play. They build the functionality that the design team presented. The front-end interface receives the feedback that it deserves, and more. If anything needs revision, we either go back to the sketching or the designing, depending how much is needed to change. yeah, workflow in OxyC is not that bad. It's pretty good. I recommend it. So once implemented, we need to begin to ask the more concrete questions when we evaluate the product. Is it usable, easy to navigate? Is it flexible and changeable for future revisions and updates? Most importantly, did it solve the problem in the most successful manner? Did we meet the credibility expectations? How timely were the sprints, and how did we meet those goals? So here we normally have a UI audit where we sort of like, this is gonna sound weird, but sort of get graded of how good we did. And like, depending on it, we might go back and change stuff or improve it. The audit report highlights major successes and future details that we can continue developing in the future. So now that we have gone through the question of what is UI UX, what's the process, career choices, soon, and so forth, it begs the question of how to become a good designer. This quote from Roll Blog allows for great food for thought. Don't be afraid to question everything. Be observant. Practice and practice and practice and practice. So a lot of the questions that I get is like, especially being part of like a CS student, is that I'm not a good designer. I'm not good at art. I'm not creative. And a lot of the times you don't need to be in order to be a UI designer. Does it help to have an art background? Yes, I'm not going to say no. But these are all things that you can learn. There is no straight route to be a UI UX designer because there isn't one. A lot of universities don't have UI UX classes, and there's not a lot of opportunities out there. There's, when you apply to a job, it's not going to say, oh, you need a degree specifically in UI UX. No. Usually we come from a variety of different backgrounds. Me personally, I'm a computer science student. I'm a tutor. I'm a mentor. And I only started this journey about 2 years ago. And everything I've done, it's like self-taught. And everything's online. There's a great resource, Google UX Design Certificate, which is specifically if you want to learn how to do UI UX in Google. So that's a pretty good resource if you ever want to look into it. If you want to be able to immerse yourself into more design-oriented people to get a taste of the competitiveness or the quality of work or how to learn or stuff like that, you can get yourself involved into design communities. Some of these are Behance, InVision Studio, or Dribble. I said that from left to right. Behance, InVision, Dribble. Each of them, they have learning communities where you can learn. You get to watch other graphic designers or UI designers or UX designers or marketers or whatever. They live stream, so you can ask them in real time. They have recorded sessions of the things they do. They also have job boards, so if you want to commission somebody or you want to get commissioned to do things, they also have those opportunities. So here, let's make some connections. Everybody, drop your LinkedIn in chat if you want to right now. Let's connect. We're going to move on though with the Figma demo. I forgot my LinkedIn link again. Let me go here real quick. Stop screen check. What? We're matching shirts today. That wasn't even intentional. Woo!
Hey guys, so I'm gonna be doing a quick demo on Figma. If you want to follow along, Figma's free, and all you have to do is create an account. I highly recommend it. If you guys, if you guys are hackers and you guys are gonna make an app or a website or whatever, it's really helpful because it allows you to collaborate with other people. I know Figma under their thing, they sent out like an education subscription, so definitely check that out. And yeah, like it's just a great tool to just, you know, do a little mock-up of what your app will be or what your website will be. So really quick, I'm gonna share these links in the chat. I don't know, I was just like looking for links while I was presenting. Um, the first one is, again, if you want to follow along, I already put like some graphics that I'll be using that I'll just like be copying and pasting. And also the colors I'm using. The second one, if you want some pre-made wireframe elements, so what Figma does, also Adobe XD, they have like they're called like wireframe UI like toolkits or something like that. So you can grab like pre-made like search bars and buttons and stuff. It's really helpful. You can obviously make your own, but it's really helpful if you're, you know, trying to do a quick little wireframe. The third one, if your project has a lot of pages, I highly recommend making like a flowchart of like your flow of the website or the app, because you know when you're making a bunch of pages, it might be like complicated and like, wait a minute, like what order is it, like what order is it and stuff. So I highly recommend that app. I've used it before. And then the last one, for Figma, you can also add plugins based off of like, I don't know, if you want to add something or like just make Figma a little bit better, you can use plugins. So I've used plugins before, they're really helpful. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna share my screen. If I'm looking away, I have two monitors, so hold on. Okay, everyone can see my screen, right? Yes, I can see it. Oh wow, I can see my thing. Okay, so just a quick how to use Figma. This is how it looks like. It's very, by the way, it's very related to Adobe XD. If you used Adobe XD before, this is gonna come just easy to you. Like that happened to me. I hadn't used Figma, and when I had used Adobe XD and I used Figma, I'm like, oh, this is it's similar. There's some differences definitely, but they're quite similar. So here I'm gonna be making like you know, all the pages. To make a frame, you have to go here where the little grid is and click frame. And you have a bunch of options. So you can put, you know, if you want to frame like a phone. So if you're making an app, obviously use the phone. A tablet, desktop, presentation, even a watch. If you want to do like social media posts, like Figma's not just for wireframing, you can also do like little graphics and stuff. So that's cool. So for this case, I'm going to be using phone. We're going to make an app. We're going to make a social media app, like just a really quick social media app. Don't copy it for your ShellHacks. You can get an idea from it, of course. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to use 11 Pro, or sure, 11 Pro. So when you click it, you have a little screen, right? So going back to I'm going to just pull this up really quick. So these are the elements I'm going to be using. These are going to be the backgrounds, the different backgrounds, and then these are some buttons that we're going to use, and also like the images. I'm just going to put it over here. You can't move it around. I put it for view. It's just for like if you want to copy and paste and follow along. Okay, so sorry, I have a lot of tabs. Give me one quick second. I'll just show you what the end result's gonna look like, just to give you an idea. Spoiler, sorry. Well, these are the elements, but we're just gonna make a home page, a login, or create an account, a home feed, and then like tap on the photo. So again, it's just a very simple little wireframe that we're gonna use. One second. All right. Okay, to start off, we're gonna use the very first background. We're just gonna literally paste that there. Or if you want, you can like make all of them beforehand. So there's how many? Oh, sorry. Let me explain this. So if you want to move around, this is like a little annoying for me because I always forget. If you want to move around, yeah, you see, I already forgot. If you want to move around, you have to hold the space bar and like use your mouse. And if you want to zoom in or out, you click Control and you use the little like scroll wheel. Just letting you know. I always forget. Okay, so I'm gonna paste this. I'm gonna paste this. Oh, can't really do that. Okay, that works. So we're gonna make our home page right now. By the way, when you're working with people, it's really recommended to like label everything. So this is our home page. I'm gonna label it here. You just double click on home page. To make the little icon, you know what? I'm just gonna do this so you guys can see what I'm looking at. I'm just copying it essentially. So okay, so we're making a home page. Okay, so here, another tip, since you guys are hackers, of course, you could literally just like, I've done like some ugly wireframes or just shapes, just to have an idea of where everything is. It helps me. Like I just literally have like little gray squares and like some text like, oh, this will go here or whatever. That helps out, but obviously making like a better version of your wireframe helps as well. Or you can do first like the ugly wireframe and then, so the ugly wireframe is like a low fidelity wireframe and then the nicer one is like a high fidelity. So to make the circle, it's really simple. You can just use a shape. We want an even circle. So over here, you can put like 200 just to make them even, a perfect circle. Maybe a little bit bigger. I'll show you. Okay. And then when you know it's like centered, you see like these little guiding lines. It's very helpful. Okay, so there's no fill to it. I'm just gonna put it white. And then, so that's fill. A stroke would just be the border, essentially. So I'm gonna put it for, let me see, was it 2? No? 3? No. Let me see. Okay, it was like 10, roughly around there. So that's how you do a stroke. You can change the color, and all that. And then to make these buttons, you can just go back to shapes, go to the rectangle. Let's make it 40. Oh, not 4. Like 50 by, I think that's fine. To make like the rounded corners, you're going to go up here. You see this little, it looks like a corner, the corner radius. Wait, what? Oh, just kidding. Well, yeah, you can do that. And then click these to change all 4. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it should be 10. No, it's not. I should just look at it. Okay, it's actually 61. Okay, so you just change this. Obviously, the bigger the number, the more of the radius. Okay. Looks good. Maybe a little wider. How wide is it? Oh, that was pretty spot on. Nice. What I had originally was pretty spot on to this already made. So since there's 2 buttons, we're just gonna copy and paste them. I'm gonna change this background really quickly. What did I do? Okay. Okay, it's not gonna be perfect, but just this is a demo. Here, I'm just make it bigger. Okay, that looks wrong. There you go. It's for demonstration purposes, so it's fine. Okay, to add text, you just go to this T and you write what you want to write. So I'm just going to Control A to select it all, and then the font size. It's not 36. What is it? 18. I'm going to change it to white because the color is white on the text. I'm just going to copy and paste it so I can do the same thing for the bottom one. I just did Control C, Control V. Create account. Okay. So how to make this purple? Oh, by the way, to change the font, you can go here. You can use all these fonts that you'd like. Oh, actually, I have a plugin for this. So unfortunately, Figma, you can't really preview the font. I had some trouble with that one time. So I found a plugin. If you want to use a plugin, you go here. Let me make this bigger. Sorry, guys. You make this bigger, and then you go to plugins. You have to go to the plugin, like that link that I sent, and then look for the plugin you want. I found one that was font preview. It's a little buggy, but like it works. It does the job. That's what counts. Why won't it pop up? Okay, there you go. Running font preview. I'm not gonna change the font for this demo, because it's just the standard one, but I just want to show you guys these tools to help you out if it wants to load. Okay. There you go. So you can change like the preview text here, and then there will be like fonts here. I think my Wi-Fi is a little wonky. Yeah, but they'll like start loading in, you see. It's really nice. It's really helpful. You can also search a specific font. Fonts are like one of the most annoying parts of making anything, you know, because you want the perfect font, and this tool really helps. So, so yeah, with that, let me go back to this. So I need to get the color for this. You guys have the little thing I sent, with like all the what do you call it? But you know, I'm actually gonna pull that up. I'm just kidding. Okay, so this here, this is the color. I'm just gonna copy it. Okay. Making a home page. So we're just gonna change these colors. They're beautiful. Nice. Again, with what I said earlier, you really should like just like label everything if you're working in a group. So like, so this would be a logo. I'm not gonna do like the whole thing. I'm just showing you. Login button. Oh, another important thing. So you can also lock something so you can't move it or anything. I'm gonna lock the background just to show you what I mean. This is the background. You just click lock, or you can right click, believe, right? Yeah, right click, lock. You can also make groups. It's very helpful. So I made the button, right? They're two separate elements. So what you can do here is click on the two elements. So it will be the login and login button. Right click and group. And then now you have your button and it's together. It's amazing. All right. So the second one we're going to be doing is the login. Oh, you can also draw your frame. And like something I did, like, because I'm also hacking, you can like make of Figma, and like you can all collaborate on notes. It's really helpful. I was doing that with my team. Okay.
Robin is asking, how did you make the rounded corners
Oh shoot,
for the
sorry.
buttons?
Oh wow, the chat was like up. I'm sorry. Okay, for the buttons, it's over here. You click this one. Well, it can be independent corners. It'll be here. If you want them all to change at the same time, you just put like 5 and all of them change. If you want to do like individual corners, you click this one and then you put the numbers. So the higher the number, the more it goes in. For this demo, we just did 61. Does that answer your question? Okay. Were you able to copy it? It's just I'm like scared of clicking the edit button and everyone moves it or something. I don't know. Okay. If not, you can just watch me. It's okay. Okay, so turns out the login is similar to the homepage. So just for my ease, I'm gonna copy it. You know, I'm gonna unlock this. I'm just gonna copy this. There you go. I'm gonna lock this again. Okay. So all I have to do is just delete these. So these are just little, we're gonna make text boxes for the input name, username, and then you can also change the I'm gonna say that word wrong, opacity of it. So I'm just gonna make it a little bit lighter, but enough for the person to view it. And then under stroke, I'm going to put that purple color. Oh, look, it saves it for you, so you don't have to be like going back and forth. Oh wait, I did something wrong. What is this? Oh, I'm I'm sorry. It was a line. My mistake. It's early. Okay, so just to make a line, make it, it's too much. Okay, whatever. Let's just keep that 2. Change the color. There you go. You have your little username thing. I'm gonna copy and paste it for the password. Again, make my life easier. Move it down. You see those little lines are very helpful. Oh, did I get the line? I probably did not. I don't know what that is. There you go. There you go. So then you change this to password. And then to make the forgot password, it's just text. I know it's like almost 10, but I'm already like halfway, so forgot password. You can also just change the color, but works either way. Let's change it to 24. Do you guys have any questions? Because the rest of it honestly is just like, I think I explained all the basics, but do you guys have any questions? Okay, I'm gonna put this up here. I'm gonna grab the button that I have here. I'm gonna copy that. Does this one look like that? Oh, oops. You guys have no questions? You guys are good? I really, really recommend, I already said this in the beginning, I really, really recommend that you use Figma. It's very helpful. In cases like this, most of you are probably making an app or a website, let's be honest. So yeah. Okay, so for this one, it's different background. So I'm gonna grab it from this. actually the wrong thing open. Okay. I'm gonna position that. Looks good. That's good. Okay. Gonna lock it again so I don't move it. Let's just grab the same circle as before. Let's make it smaller. Let's do 100. Is it 100? Roughly 150. There, I'm just gonna keep it at 150. Not perfect, but similar. Same concept. Okay, we already did these lines, which is great. These lines on the, oh, let me group them. Let me just, okay, they are slanted. Oh, if you those purple line things. You can also like change the, yeah, you can change that. It's been helpful like photos sometimes, like I want to grab a photo and it's like crooked or something. I'm gonna put it for 0 to 0. Okay, I'm gonna group these to a line. Yeah, there you go. Group them. And just copy and paste a billion times. Okay, make sure it's centered. So you can like move it up or down and kind of around there. It's not really giving me a number, but normally gives you a number of like how many, I believe, pixels, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so name, email, password, retype password. Okay, and now we have that one done. Oh, the button. And then just copy and paste the button. You see like that number? Yeah, it's like the pixels, I believe. All right, cool. The next one is the homepage. We're almost done. I'm gonna make another frame. Again, going back to this iPhone 11 Pro. All right, I'm gonna just grab it from here, but it's also here. I believe, oh, these are all pictures. Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna grab this. Nice. So it cuts off on the hand. There you go. Oh, and I need space for a little bar. Oh, is that bar like made? Oh, okay. So these buttons are individually made. Okay, so to make these little buttons really helps to scroll in because it's so small. Oh, also, you don't have to like do it on the page if you want to like make it here to make it like easier or simpler. Let's just make little buttons. Again, with the stroke, I already explained this. Nope, it's not that. If I'm not mistaken, it's just a drop shadow. Yeah, it's just a drop shadow. Okay, so let me do the radius then. Let's try 61 again. Yeah, or no. Let's do 30. Oh, I'm not. What? Okay, So to make the drop shadow, just go to effects, drop shadow. There you go. It's already me. There's a bunch of effects like layer blur, background blur. Okay, there's no stroke. So then just that, and then add. I'm done with that. And yes, you can use it for apps. Very, very helpful for apps. For you. I'm not gonna like type out each individual one because I have 7 minutes. But I'm just gonna copy that, or not copy, I'm just gonna drag it over. So of course, I'm not gonna do it for sake of time, but you just keep copy and pasting and you change the words. Okay. And the last one, very last one, we're almost there. Again, make another frame. And then, oh, I don't think there's just that one. I'm just gonna grab it. Oh, I didn't add this. My bad. Sorry, guys. Well, on Figma, it's not the most recommended. Like, I don't want you guys just going on Figma and copying and pasting whatever this is. But there is a helpful feature. It's called Inspect, where you can see like some of the features. I don't know if that answers your question. Like, cause this isn't like front end. Like, I'm not developing anything front end. I'm just making a mock-up of what the front end would be. So yeah, like you see when I click gallery, it says the width and the height and all that. This button, it has all like I don't recommend just like, you know, grabbing everything, just copying and pasting, but if it helps, if you're like stuck on a mockup, like, oh, what did I do here? You can go to inspect, and on CSS, it does it for you. And also these are like the components. Okay, let me finish up. Oh, this goes down here. Oh, I should have played music. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't think of that. Sorry. Okay. This is here. It is not. Oh, okay. My bad. Oh, this is also an image. This is not like created on Figma. And alright. Alright. Does anyone have any questions? I finished the demo. Like 95% of it. I didn't do the buttons because I thought I didn't have time. Does anyone have any questions just in general? Anything about UI UX, about Figma? Anything? I'm here to help you. Oh, what? I'm sorry, I didn't see that question. What would you recommend using for making the front end of an app then? I'm gonna be honest, I'm not experienced in mobile development, but for front end, it's not as simple as just like, oh, getting all like making all this and converting it to code. You actually have to code it. UI is not just the front end. Like UI, like user interface, yes, it is front end, but like in a sense of Figma doesn't like make the code. Like you don't just go on Figma and like add everything and it makes the code for you. This is just a tool that will help you in the process of making your apps or websites. What's the difference between a slice and a frame? Good question. We're gonna find that out together because I don't know. That's terrible. What is slice? Do you slice something? I'm sorry, I am terrible. I've never used slice before. I'm sorry, I have never used slice before. Divide an image into smaller sections that fit together like a jigsaw. Oh, okay. Yeah, you can break it up. Okay, that's cool. That's helpful. This is a demo of what the, yes, that's literally, yeah, it's just a demonstration of what the front end would look like. Yes, what we want the front end to look like without the code, yeah. So like in the previous slides that Kim mentioned, yeah, it's essentially normally in like real life, a designer designs it. So they'll use something like Figma, Adobe XD, etc. They'll present it to the team and whatever, you know, get feedback on it and all that. And once it's approved, the developers work on the actual thing. So I hope I'm making sense. Please ask for clarification if I didn't make sense. I'm sorry. Any other questions? I don't think so. I don't think there's any other questions. All right. Well, thank you guys. I wish you guys luck. Again, those links that I sent, I'm gonna send it again if you want. These links are super helpful. There's so many tools online that'll help you with prototyping and making the wireframes. Those just a few that I found like the most important ones. So yeah, I wish you guys luck. Thank you for coming.
Stick around here for a minute or so for you peeps.
Yeah, it's not too late to ask a question. So if you have anything in mind, please, we're here.
If you have any further questions, we're also going to be on the Discord. I'll do my best to answer in time.
Well, what's the best way for them to like contact us, or should we do it like individually?
You can either send me a DM on Discord. I have a yellow name. It says Kim Cruz.
Yeah, on
Or
this
you can
side,
ask on the
we have like
on the
we're like all the
design.
way on the top. Yeah. I'm gonna be busy, but if you guys want to ask me any questions, I'm just gonna send my Discord in the chat. I will be busy though. I'm hacking with you guys too, but I'll try my best to answer. This is Kim. So I'm gonna put it here.
Me.
There you go.
Good luck, everybody. Happy hacking. Eat and sleep, please.
Yes, and drink coffee. I want coffee. All right.
All right, everybody. It's 10. Let's talk about Lex by Automation and JavaScript workshop is happening right now, so you guys can hop on over there.